What's up, folks? Great back with another, you guessed it, COD Zombies video. Today I've got the ultimate guide to the main Easter egg on Liberty Falls. It will thoroughly cover setup, all steps, and the boss stage with some essential strategy all throughout. Hope it helps out. The basic format of the main Easter egg on Liberty Falls is get the Wonder Weapon, build the LTG, grab an Ether canister and drop it in the attack zones for the Dark Aether Field Generator Trap, or DFAG, then summon a HVT with the LTG, and kill him near the canister with the DFAG trap on, in turn collecting the soul. Then drop the filled canister off at the SDG generator in the church. You then repeat the HVT process after a short puzzle, and you are on to a boss battle where you face a bunch of zombies and HVTs while trapped in the church. Survive and you will be down, the cutscene will play, and you are done. Beating the Easter egg awards you with the achievement Bye Bye Dark Aether and 5000 XP, and you will be given the choice to continue on or exit. If you continue, you will be awarded a perkaholic, a bunch of essence, and high tier loot. Upon exit, one new calling card and a ray gun skin will be available to you. Since the guided Easter eggs are here now, you will not be able to get the early completion calling card anymore, but as it looks exactly the same, you aren't missing much. For solo players, this egg is nicely balanced to give some contrast to the Terminus egg, which can be kinda sweaty in comparison. It is a great egg to run casually for the XP boost, and Perka, I really enjoy popping on some music and just running through it. It's honestly never been this fun for me to repeat an egg over and over again for a guide. For co-op, it's much more difficult. The HVT's health scales to the amount of players in your party, and in the boss fight, the amount of them scales as well. That means there's points where there will be 4 or 5 HVTs inside the church with zombies, which leaves an uncoordinated team in absolute chaos. Everyone running trains into each other, downs all over the place. If you're going to do co-op, go in with a team with a plan and mics. Get fully set up before doing the boss. The less people the better, honestly, unless you're looking for a challenge. There's no need to rush into the boss early in the rounds. You can get fully set up and not worry about any side Easter eggs. That said, I will go over how to get up to the boss fight earliest in the rounds. Doing the HVTs in the 20s can be kind of a pain, and many may want to go for an early round completion just for shits and gigs. The enemies in the final battle do scale to rounds, so ideally in solo, I hope to have a triple packed orange GS45 and be entering the final battle by the mid-20s. But for co-op, just wait until everyone is ready. I've read repeatedly that there is a cap on the scaling, so no rush. For weapons, bring in the GS45. There's lots of crowd control in this egg, and if you want to get it done early, you'll need to just focus on leveling one weapon. You can buy it off the wall for a rarity jump, but if you do the Raining Zombies Easter egg past round 10, you're guaranteed a blue ether tool. If you're going to wait for a mangler to get the electrical wire, bring a decent bullet weapon for shooting off the mangler's cannon, and just buy the GS45 off the wall. Bonus points for folks who want to do side Easter eggs, and bring a good scoped weapon like the LR762 or SVD. These both do massive damage to the bosses as well. Speaking of that, gotta give a mention to my boy the ASG Shotty. If you happen upon a ray gun, it also does wonders on bosses. For tacticals, bring smoke or decoys for the valve step for the jet gun, and to keep zombies off of you while you focus on HVTs in the boss battle. For your lethal, bring a Semtex or other explosive that you can throw far enough to hit the rock on the church roof to do Raining Zombies. Not a huge deal though, because you should have the GS45 and that does the trick just fine. For field upgrade, if solo, go with Ether Shroud. Bonus points if you have the augment that gives you 2 charges equipped. Alternatively, you can run Energy Mind if a low level, or if you have a more offensive playstyle. If co-op, have the strongest player run Healing Aura. Bonus points if they have the major augment Persistence equipped, as it will also let people keep all perks on their bleed out bar. Gobblegums are honestly entirely unnecessary for solo, but if you want to get it done early in the rounds, things that save essence and salvage will help. Wonder Bar has a 50-50 shot of getting you the jet gun early without having to bother with the Wonder Weapon egg. If you need some help for the boss fight, try Cash Back, Insta-kill combined with Temporal, shields up, and or stock option. For co-op, profit sharing, especially combined with double points, is super clutch on making the essence you need to open up the map and get set up. Starting this egg means opening up the map, which means lots of essence, and finishing it means being strapped, which means lots of salvage. To help that along, you can do the power-up side Easter eggs, Sam trials, smack the vending machine, break the crystals in the church, do the raining zombies and gravedigger Easter eggs, and rock silencers on your custom builds. Aiming for the head is always a good idea in the zombie apocalypse too.
His head is gone! How beautiful!
Step 1 of the Easter egg is to get the wonder weapon. You can do the Easter egg, use a wonder bar gobblegum, or get it out of the box naturally. It also has a small chance of dropping from the Mr. Peak's car Easter egg. Check out the guide on screen now for help with the wonder weapon Easter egg. I want to reiterate a few things from this guide. 1. Using mini eggs to speed up this process can be wise for more serious runs. 2. For casual runs, just wait for the naturally spawning mangler on round 11, shoot off his cannon to open the Radio Shack. And lastly, get on finding the groundskeeper in the graveyard early. Now that you have the jet gun, it's time to build the LTG or Limited Transdimensional Gateway device. To do this, you must collect 3 parts with the jet gun. In order to collect a part, you must have a sight line on it. If it is not moving when you use the suck function of the wonder weapon, readjust your positioning until you have the clearest line of sight possible. While gathering these parts, think about grabbing the Aetherella figurines. Getting all 9 turns you into Aetherella, making you invincible and giving you a constant, high-powered laser beam attack. It honestly makes the end of the boss fight dirt easy. The first part for the LTG is inside the church. Activate the SDG generator, officially starting the Easter egg. This will spawn in a part for the LTG floating to the left of the balcony. There is also an Aetherella figurine nearby in the right side window of the front of the church. Suck it down, around the corner, and into the church. Leave it here so you can grab it during the boss fight, making sure to not accidentally suck it up, cracking crystals with the jet gun. The second part for the LTG is nearby off of Washington Avenue. It is located in this second-story window and is visible from the top of the white truck. Jump from the nearby roof to get here, get a line of sight on the part, and hold the right trigger until the screen flashes yellow. You can also get this one from the roof you jump from, but can be finicky and sometimes get stuck in the roof. Many times it's a shortcut that I don't bother with. A second part for the Aetherella Easter egg is nearby as well. Standing on the roof you jump from, face the street up to the church, and then the left window on the building across the street is another figurine. Now get onto the roof of the bank. The zipline from the graveyard should be open. Open this door that leads to the roof of Yummy Freeze, as you will need it to be open later in the egg anyways. On the roof across the alley in between the 2 aircon units is another Aetherella figurine. Suck it up and drop down. The last part for the LTG is in the broken ceiling of Ollie's Comics. Suck it up and grab the 4 figurines in here. Go back to the roof of the bank and build the LTG, and we're on to the next step. If you are getting the Aetherella figurines, the last 2 are on the left side of the motel and Liberty Lane signs. Now that we have the LTG, it's time to summon an HVT with it. But first, let's place the ether canister by the trap. The first ether canister is conveniently just sitting in the SDG generator in the church. Grab it, noting you will lose the ability to sprint, so it may be best to do this part in between rounds. Place it near this circular plate where the trap emits its ether field. There's another ether field generator trap in spawn, but I always use this one due to its proximity to the church. Now go to either storm. I recommend doing the one outside Ollie's Comics first, as if you forget to grab the LTG once you are done summoning the HVT, it's conveniently located on the way back to the trap from grabbing your second ether canister near spawn. Interact to start the ritual and protect the LTG from the zombies that spawn for 60 seconds. The spawns are consistent in these 4 directions, so if you just circle the LTG with your Mustang and Sally, you should have no trouble. If zombies make it into the portal, it will damage its integrity. It can take quite a bit of damage as indicated by the health bar, but if you let it get to 0, you will have to progress to the next round to try again. Once the process completes, an HVT will spawn either a Mangler or an Abomination. Whittle their health down and lead them to the trap, turning it on. Wait until they are over the ether field, noting that they will spark purple when in range of the ether canister. Kill the HVT and it will spawn a max ammo and the soul will enter the canister. You will then have a minute and a half to get the canister back to the church. If you fail to get it back in time or kill the HVT outside of the range of the ether canister, you will have to wait until the following round and spawn another HVT. Luckily, you won't have to protect it while it charges, it just spawns the HVT right away. This is a great way to do camos that require elite kills, especially in guided mode where it won't progress the rounds. Once you insert the canister into the SDG generator, this step is complete and the machine will spit out the Strauss counter required for getting the second and final ether canister. To get the second ether canister, you must solve a small puzzle. Luckily, it's really simple. Across the map are 3 projectors. When in range of a projector, pull out the Strauss counter, which acts as a tactical. The color of the screen will indicate the color the light on the projector needs to be. If the screen is red, the light needs to be green, which is the first in the sequence. Interact with the projector to change the color, noting there is a slight delay in between when you can change the color. If the screen is yellow, the light also needs to be yellow. Yellow is the second in the sequence. And if the screen of the counter is green, the light needs to show red, the last in the sequence. The projectors are found at the following locations: nearby the groundskeeper's shed, on the hillside in front of Liberty Lanes, and on the roof of Yummy Freeze, accessed from the bank roof. Once all 3 are set to the right frequency, a beam of light from each will lead to the device nearby spawn and it will spit out the final ether canister. Grab it and take it to the trap, grabbing the LTG from the storm by ollies on the way if you haven't already grabbed it. Place the canister near the kill zone and head up to the graveyard. Repeat the summoning of the HVT. The zombies will again come from 4 directions. Protect it, summon the HVT, whittle the health down, and lead them to the trap. Kill them over top, grab the max ammo and filled canister, and drop it off in the SDG generator by interacting once and once only. If you interact a second time, it will close off the exits and start the boss fight. Make sure you are prepared. To be prepped for an early round solo boss fight, you'll want at minimum a 2-plate or jug, stam and flopper with a packed GS45. If you're going the minimal route, you'll want to be to the boss fight as soon as possible, and it will be a tougher battle with a lot more scrambling. The only point of this is if you are speedrunning or going for an early round Easter egg completion. If you pass round 15, my advice is to just get fully set up. If you're just going for a standard solo or duo completion, the boss fight is easiest with a triple packed orange GS45 with speed, deadshot, stamina, quick revive, jug, and flopper. Use gobblegums like shields up, insta-kill, and cash back. Save the good gobblegums for terminus egg runs. Have at least a 2-plate, 3-plate if you can swing it before round 25 after getting everything else. If you don't have Etherella set up, have a mutant injection. Either will make the last and toughest HVT a breeze. If you have both, you will barely need to fire your GS45. If you are in a 3 or 4 player co-op match, just get everything. Have mutant injections, have Etherella set up and ready to go, everybody triple packed and max rarity with full perks and 3 plates. Make sure you got all 8 other figurines. It really stings to grab the last figurine in the boss fight and find out you missed one. If you aren't fully set up, it needs to be super early in the rounds because it gets crazy, especially in 4-player co-op. When you are ready, interact with the SDG generator. The exits will close up and the first of 3 phases will begin. The first phase will consist of zombies and regular manglers. Just clean them up with your GS45, noting ammo drops will be regular occurrences. Check the ground for those. There's an ammo crate in the corner opposite Pack-a-Punch. When you finish the phase, a max armor power-up will spawn on a long timer just like the maxes on the Terminus boss fight. This is your cue to get ready for the difficulty to ramp up a bit. Phase 2 has everything from the first round with the addition of an HVT mangler per player in the party. They are bullet sponge manglers just like the ones you filled your canister with, but now scaled to your current rounds, so likely even more spongy. This is where I like to use gobblegums like Insta-Kill and Temporal, and shields up. Cash back if you run out of ammo and are short on money. Once you finish the phase, a long timer max ammo spawns. Phase 3 will spawn everything from Phase 1 and 2 plus an Abomination HVT. If playing 4-player, that means 4 HVT manglers, an HVT Abomination plus regular zombies and manglers. It's an absolute nut house. Grab your Aetherella as soon as the first HVT spawns. It will last pretty much the whole phase. Use mutant injections, toss gas nades, and use Ether Shroud when in trouble, and good luck. If you're solo or duos, you don't even need anything but the GS-45s and some training skill. Once you defeat all the HVTs, some dialogue will occur and you will be downed. Careful not to use one of your quick revive augment revives by getting any kills. The achievement will pop, a cutscene will play, and then you can continue on or exit. Congrats! If you continue, you will receive a bunch of essence, salvage, ether tools, pack crystals, legendary weapons, and wonder weapons. Plus a perkaholic, 5000 XP, and when you get out, you'll have access to the new calling card and ray gun skin. But that about wraps up another one. I hope it helps. Peace!